In practice, everybody deals with digital governance every day when they're agreeing or disagreeing towards user agreements, or when they're deciding whether they should agree towards being followed by cookies or not. These are all part of a broader digital governance framework, and there was little discussion that this shouldn't be one of the most important topics of the future. I'm Dani Stockman. I'm the director of the Center for Digital Governance, and I'm also professor for digital governance at the Hertie School. At the Hertie School, I'm wearing two hats. One hat is the China hat. I have been studying Chinese politics and Chinese media, Chinese social media in particular, since the late 1990s, so over 20 years now. And my second hat is the social media governance hat that engages with this new emerging model for social media governance in Europe. Originally, I started out as a China scholar, and I was mostly interested in how an authoritarian regime can use digital technology in order to stabilize its governance. I started to realize that lots of policymakers in democracies are, without looking at China, are looking for similar policy solutions towards dealing with the same issues. And I did not think that the same policy solutions were compatible with democracy. Thus, I started to become more interested in how to create the circumstances within liberal democracy to use digital technologies such that they can promote both democracy and the public good. I believe we're currently at a critical moment in history where we have to come to terms with how we want to use digital technology. There are different answers. There's not one answer to this question, but through my research and through our work at the center, we're trying to advance a reflection on these questions so that we can, as a society, come to a common new agreement. There are three different understandings of addressing the challenges of social media platforms. One is, I would say, the traditional way of looking at social media governance, which comes out of the United States, which is based on self-regulation, where you give companies a lot of autonomy and you leave it up to them. China is at the other extreme, where you have a very state-driven approach towards dealing with the issues. Public administrative bodies and together with the Chinese Communist Party make decisions about the boundaries of freedom of speech. Since last year, we have the Digital Services Act, Digital Markets Act package in Europe, and many liberal democracies are now looking towards Europe and are watching very closely what model is developing here. And this approach is based on emphasizing transparency, social responsibility of companies, and holding companies accountable. When you do the kind of work that we do, when you engage with high-level policymakers, most of these discussions take place behind the curtains. And what we would like to do at the center is to find more opportunities for students to engage in a conversation. I would envision for the center to also have venues and convenings where students also get a chance to engage with some of these speakers in person more directly.